I don't think like the current version of Shaw is the one that in a year or two's time you're going, yeah, he's a great piece of the team, good defender, good bat to ball, etc. Like, there's something that's going to break here that's going to allow him to actualize that upside.
All right, we're back with Lance Brozdowski. You can check out his YouTube channel. You can hear him and watch him on Marquee. We'll talk Cubs in a little bit. But, Lance, great to have you on, man. I'm excited to chat more this evening on Playback. We'll do the all-cast. Hopefully people will follow along. It's totally free to sign up and watch. But are you ready for a Paul Skenes start? We picked this game weeks ago, so we just got lucky. We hit the lottery tonight.
Yeah, when you guys asked me to do this, I was looking and I was like, "Ooh, there's a chance Skeens lines up here," which makes this far more interesting. So I'm very happy about that. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, agreed. So give me your take, your just big picture take on Paul Skenes and his progression and how he looks this year compared to last year.
Yeah, the big thing here, and I know a lot of other people have pointed this out, but he's throwing from a lower slot, so he slots down about like 6, 7 degrees, which is pretty considerable for a pitcher. And the big thing that jumps out to me is he's ripping a ton of that sinker splinker thing. He jumped that usage first or second pitch of an AB up to 52%, I think, relative to like 35% last year. That's a pretty considerable gap. I know he talked a little about in spring training about wanting to pitch like more innings, go deeper into games, and I wonder whether the slot drop, that pitch looking a bit better, him just trying to generate contact early in count has really forced him into that. Hey, try to lift this pitch. It's really hard to lift. And as a result of that, maybe we see him push more consistently into like seventh, eighth inning. But I don't know. Like, I'm curious to see whether there's a shift back to more strikeouts eventually as the season goes on. That's an interesting balance to strike as a pitcher. We're seeing like Hunter Greene really light the world on fire right now. Skeens may log 220 innings. Like, I'd be awesome to see that. So he's kind of blending some of the new school and the old school, which I think is great.
Yeah, and I think to stay on Skenes here, he has the mobility to move the ball wherever he wants with each and every pitch. And with that overpowering fastball, like you talk about all these pitches, what is that one pitch right now that you think is getting most guys out on? Is it the splinker or is it that nasty running fastball?
I think so. The thing I remember seeing, I think this is still applicable this year too, is like a lot of guys pitch backwards. You'll hear that a lot on a broadcast, but he had some of the largest like increase in fastball usage as he progressed into deep count situations relative to like anybody in the league. So if you're looking for a poster boy of pitching backwards, last year it was Paul Skenes. And I think he's still doing that this year. But again, I do think that splinker is really the pitch. It just has so much drop. He throws it so hard. I imagine like for a hitter, Todd, it's probably like impossible to lift that pitch. Like, it's just, I don't understand. Like, it's a Logan Webb style thing where it's like you got to pray that he gives it up in the zone a little, and even then you're probably still hitting it 105 right into the dirt, and he's happy to take that pretty much every single time.
Lance, is this a flip in philosophy though from him to try to go deeper into games? Because normally if you get ground balls, you don't get as many strikeouts, so you can go deeper into games. So do you think that's maybe the difference in this little change that he has?
I think it is. I think maybe his goal this year is to throw like 200 plus as opposed to striking out 35% of the guys that he sees. I don't mind it. I mean, I think the Pirates need him for as many innings as possible, given the tumultuous bullpen they've had each of the last 2 seasons. They just can't seem to figure that out. So if he can give you 7 or 8 every time he throws, even if maybe for him as a pitcher, it's more optimal from a data standpoint to chase the strikeouts. If you think of the team context of him, I'd want him throwing in the 8th inning as opposed to whoever their setup man is.
Hey, you can't say that. You're an analytic guy. You can't say that. You got to go all analytics. You can't say, there's a team thing and a person. No way. I thought these guys were robots.
Come on.
I mean,
they're not robots.
That's all you said.
We make the optimal decisions with the robots, and then we massage it a little bit. You got to have some balance, AJ.
And then the players got to try to do the perfect all the time. But have the Cardinals figured out Skenes? They seem to hit him pretty good every time. It was like they had Kershaw's number back in the day. Now do they have Skenes' number? They're the one team that seems to do okay against them.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Isn't that the saying? That's where I'm going to go on that one.
There you go.
As a Cub, he works for the Cubs. He can't say anything nice about the Cardinals.
Well, that's fine. We can go to the Cubs. Let's start with Justin Steele. What do you think of the injury and how it affects the Cubs the rest of the year here in the rotation? Can they hold up?
It's a brutal injury. Yeah, I mean, prior to the season, they had 2 pitchers projected as above-average starters, and it was him and Shota, and now you're down to 1. So, I mean, I think this team is good. I think offensively they're fantastic, but at the beginning of the season, the concern was always, okay, you get this team down the stretch, into September, you start thinking about playoff situations. Like, who are you rolling out there as starting pitchers? We constantly see like those big starting pitchers, those teams with multiple starters, the Dodgers' ability to roll Glasnow to Yamamoto, etc. Those teams are the ones that are most intimidating. The Phillies do a great job of this. They have so much rotation depth. And then they got Jesus Luzardo, who looks fantastic. You match from a pure pitching standpoint, staff standpoint, the Cubs right now up with other teams. I struggle to see how they're going to compete in that capacity. Like, I think Colin Ray is kind of a fun addition, but he's limited in innings. Matt Boyd hasn't thrown 120 plus in what, 5 or 6 years. Brad Keller's a really fun reclamation project. So they have these puzzle pieces that I think for now can bridge them to, say, playoff, or excuse me, all-star break, right around that area. But I think this team's going to have a lot of pressure come the deadline to make a move and add some kind of pitcher that you're a little more confident in.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting to hear from a Cub fan. I got to ask you this. The Cub offense now, they lead the league in run differential. Scott says it's the fakest stat of all time. Which one is it? Are they the best team of all time, or are they the fakest team of all time?
So there's a producer here. His name's Christopher Antonacci at Marquee. He's a good friend, and he's a huge data nerd. We have come to the agreement that the way to do run differential is that when you win a game by more than 5 runs, in excess of the 5, those don't count towards your run differential. Because to me, like, when you blow a team out 16 plus, like, at some point there you have Miguel Rojas throwing 2 innings. Like, that's just artificially inflating your run differential. I just want to know, like, when you get above that 5 margin, how good you are. So throw out, if you're winning 8-0, 9-0, 10-0, I don't think that indicates too much of like the raw skill of a given team. And a lot of the time on the data side, that's what we're trying to get into, is like, we're looking at process, we're looking at underlying things that we can allow ourselves to be a little bit more confident in predicting players going forward. And yeah, maybe that's a hot take here. It's a little bit against what a lot of people look at from like what you want to nerd out and say Pythagorean win, where it's like, oh, if this team's plus 24 runs, then they should be 3 games over 500 or whatever it is. But I mean, you're winning 16-0. Like, what's the difference between 16-0 and 9-0, especially when Miggy Rojas is throwing 2 innings?
Thank
7
you.
runs.
Thank you.
7 runs.
Yes.
7 runs
Wait.
is the difference.
You go 7-6,
Todd-
fine. I'm happy to adjust it up.
But it's
And
fake
if Todd and I
baseball at
drove
that
in
point.
those 7, if Todd and I drove in those 7, we go to arbitration, Todd, those 7 runs count, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
They don't care who you hit
They-
them off of.
Yeah, they count. But when we're evaluating teams, Lance, I am totally with you. I haven't heard about that, but I like that much more, right? Because you are trying to get indicators to see, are teams getting, cruise control wins, or are they constantly sweating out dubs? And yes, 1-run record can fluctuate. Although I do like 1-run record and just winning close games. I mean, I do think better bullpens can play to that, but it is certainly a much better way to slice it, Lance. I think that run differential itself just gets very lazy when we look at, teams that put together, maybe especially early in a season, a couple blowout wins, and then we're like, oh, good, they beat the Pirates 17-2, then another time they beat them 15-5, and all of a sudden it gets inflated. So anyway, on the offensive side, what do you think of the Cubs offense, right? You watch almost every game. Do you think it's a much better offense this year, and is the reason primarily Kyle Tucker, or is there more?
Yeah, I think the reason is primarily Kyle Tucker. It's funny. I feel like I don't know what happened this offseason, AJ, but I feel like I've become a lot more turncoat here, and I'm considering the other angles. But offseason, the big angle was, okay, they need a star in that lineup. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I get it, but how much of a difference is that actually going to make? And then you watch Kyle Tucker for however many games they play, like 15 games or so. And I mean, this guy's ABs are insane. Like, he barrels everything that he hits. He hits everything hard, really good swing decisions. Like, he commands the zone. It's one of those things where it just entirely changes that lineup from my perspective in terms of who's hitting around him. He's an exceptional player, and I mean, they're going to have a lot of pressure on them, I think, coming this season off season, to extend him and keep him in Chicago long term.
More in a minute, but first, a quick word from our sponsor of this video.
Todd Father, I'm looking for premium clothes at an affordable price. I want it to fit nice. I want it to make all the features that we want to point out look nice. And I want softness.
Yes.
What do I do?
You hit up True Classic. I mean, these shirts that I have on right now, not only is it fitting and it's soft, it makes my arms look a little bigger too as well. The comfort is all I ask for in clothing, and that's the biggest part. And this is what they have. The jeans are comfortable too as well. Everything that you put on right now from True Classic is special. It's something I'm going to buy in all different colors.
It's 100% perfect fit guarantee, easy returns, free shipping on all orders. And whether you're bundling up for the cold or you're getting ready for spring, you can level up your style with clothes that actually fit right. Just go to the FT exclusive link. That's trueclassic.com/foul to save. trueclassic.com/foul. Shop now and elevate your wardrobe today with trueclassic.com/foul.
And now back to the video.
Matt Shaw came up with all the hype in the world. He was great in the minor leagues, and Todd and I were just talking about he's got a funky stance. Do you think that he'll be able to have the success he had in the minor leagues? Because he's got so much movement with his hands, with the way he stands, his leg kick. There's a lot of things that have to be timed up. Can he figure this out for the Cubs and be a weapon for him?
I think he can, but I do think it's going to require some tinkering. I agree with you. It's a weird swing. It's probably one of the weirdest swings in baseball. They had like an overhead kind of bird's eye view of home yesterday on the Sunday Night Baseball broadcast, and you could see like when he strides, that front leg almost like comes over the plate and then drifts a little bit. He lands like super close, and I remember talking to him in spring training a year ago, actually. And we were talking through his swing, and I was like, man, you set up really close. And he's like, I don't think I do. And then I like see him, and I'm like, dude, you're super close. Like, like Adrian Beltre, like there aren't a lot of guys that stand that close in the modern game. I feel like the stances as a whole have become slightly open, or guys start open and step maybe more neutral. So it's going to require some tinkering. Like he got chewed up by breaking balls at AAA last year. Teams are not throwing him a lot of fastballs. He's a really good fastball hitter. He's kind of got like that inside out swing going to right field. I know a guy like James Wood does this, and we'll see him on the playback stream tonight. He's super in out, but Wood's raw bat speed is like insane, such that approach can work. I wouldn't say I'm like concerned about the long-term picture of Matt Shaw, but he's going to have to make some adjustments. I'm not sure if it's toning down the leg kick. You guys as hitters definitely have more thoughts there, I imagine, but I don't think like the current version of Shaw is the one that in a year or two's time you're going, yeah, he's a great piece of the team, good defender, good bat to ball, etc. Like, there's something that's going to break here that's going to allow him to actualize that upside.
All right, Lance, I want to get some other thoughts on pitching around the league. Obviously, you're watching and you're documenting changes for pitchers. Anything that you've pointed out recently, whether it's a pitch mix change that you're really buying for a pitcher to take off the rest of the year? I mean, this question always applies to many different fans, including ones that even play fantasy baseball. Like, what do you like so far in the first few weeks that you think has stickiness to it?
Yeah, I mean, Hunter Greene's an interesting one. He started last year in a very similar situation where we saw the fastballs jump and he added a little vertical break. It was harder, etc. This season, what we're seeing is he's just throwing it more and throwing it directly over the plate, and it's blowing through hitters. And like, he's one of the more fascinating guys to me because there aren't a lot of guys in the league, I think, that could basically throw two pitches like 85, 90% of the time, especially from the right side, the right-handed pitcher. Like, I feel like a lot of the time you get that from lefties. I think of Shodi Managa on the Cubs, and there's probably other names there too. You could kind of go like fastball change, fastball split, and get through a lineup a couple times. Greene is doing it with fastball slider, basically. I know he's got the splitter in his back pocket, but he doesn't use that a ton. The other one I'll point out, I just wrote about actually on my Substack, is Joe Boyle. He's got this like crazy sinker thing, and I know the guy's never had command. He was with the Athletics last year. He was throwing like a bunch of breaking balls, but it seems like the Rays cleaned up some of his mechanics. He's really like fastball, shorter slider, and this weird sinker splitter thing. It's a wacky pitch. Like, he's thrown at 93. He's got a high slot. It dives a ton. I'm not necessarily sure if he's going to be like a world beater on the command side of things, but I mean, the Rays are a factory in terms of being able to churn out these pitchers. And so far, I mean, I'm pretty encouraged by what I've seen from Joe Boyle.
Yeah, you know how it works. I mean, it still applies. You get a call. I don't think about any trade, but still about a pitcher, and you're like, the Rays want him. Hold on, actually, we're going to keep him. We
got to name it. Name the pitch, Lance. We got to name the Doyle pitch. I mean, the splinker, the sweeper.
Yeah.
It's
a weird one though, because his is more of like a true split grip. I showed this. I had a tweet queued up before I hopped on here, but it looks like a true splitter to me. Like, if you look at Skenes' splinker, that looks a little more like a true sinker. He's kind of, I don't have a ball in the area, but he's like right on the inside of the horseshoe. It's a weird spot. But if you look at Boyle's, it just looks like a splitter. So I'm not entirely sure how he's able to pick up that drop or what he's doing, how his body moves through that release to be able to get that amount of movement at velo and stuff. But it's really impressive. Kudos to him or the Rays. I'm not entirely sure how he came up with the pitch, but it's sick.
Sinky splitter.
So I'm fine with it.
We're always making up new stuff on the data side. I know you guys hate it.
Yeah. No. I mean, I don't know how they feel, but I'm a marketing guy, so I'm all for naming a variety of pitches. Right? It's like you talk to a kid and you're like, "Oh, Kodai Senga," and they're like, "Ghost fork." Boom. We need more of that.
Yep.
So just throwing it out there. Hey, Lance, we're gonna do a lot more of this later. So rest up. We'll talk to you on the game. All right.
Thanks for having me, guys. Take care.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.